Okay, hey everybody, we're here for our fourth basic guitar series with JJ Patishall. Take it away, JJ.
All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to cover, over the last few weeks, what we've been doing is covering all kind of your primary chords. These are your open chords that are more or less, you're centered around the first to third position, the first to the third fret, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to continue down that path and some chord rhythms, because as guitar players, I would say about 80% of the time you're going to be playing rhythm. The guitar is beautiful because it is both a melodic and a rhythmic instrument, but more often than not, rhythm is going to be a big part of what you're going to be doing, and is an essential, and to me is essential to being a well-rounded guitar player. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start with two chords that are, you're going to get 4 chords today. All right, some of them are going to be kind of a development from previous chords, and then you're going to get 2 brand new chords and a new rhythm as well. All right, so what we're going to do is, we talked about the E chord. We've been talking, a lot of our lesson has been centering around this E major chord. We're going to go back to our E and our A, but we're going to show you, I like to call it kind of a 2-for-1. So out of this same shape, you're going to get 2 chords. So here, we have our E major, right? I line up, well, when we play our E major chord, all I have to do is release that first finger off the first fret. So now I've just got my 2 fingers in the 2nd fret, and it becomes E minor. And I'll give it 4 strums. All right, so we have major, and you have E minor. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Let's jump ahead. You have A major. So if you make your A chord, now this is going to have to be a little different. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give you actually an alternate fingering, because this will make it a little easier. An alternate fingering for that A major that we've been doing. Once you get comfortable with that, if you're ready, you can jump into, you can create a kind of like a mini bar. So what I do is, I've got 1 finger. I'm going to use that middle finger. I've seen other folks use, their first finger, but I like to use my 2nd finger. And I lay across those same, use 1 finger, I have to angle it to lay across those 3 strings. So I've got the D, the G, and the B. I'm catching it all with 1 finger. See if I can get in there so you can see it. So instead of doing this, I can take 1 finger and lay it across the 3. You have to angle your finger just right, because you want to get the pad, this part of your finger is kind of, it's almost like you're creating like the pad that you would see on a piano. It gonna come down on all 3 of those, and you just clamp down. And that is actually, if you ever heard people talk about bar chords, that's kind of the beginning of that. So the A major chord is actually a great way to get into that. So you've got A major with an alternate fingering, but now I'm gonna play A minor. So all I do is I take these 2 fingers, 2nd, 3rd, stand them up in the same fret, and then I'm going to put my first finger on the first fret on the 2nd string. See if I can adjust that angle so you can see it okay. So 2nd finger is on the D string, 3rd finger is on the G, 1st finger is on the B string in the 1st fret, and that becomes A minor. So A major with the new fingering, A minor. You'll notice the difference in the sounds. E major to E minor, A major to A minor. Typically when we talk about in music, we've got 2 primary sounds that we can begin with. You've got major chords and you've got minor chords. Your majors are going to be your brighter, happier chords, for lack of a better word, right? And your minors are going to be your darker, or sometimes they're sad or angry chords, depending on the nature of the song, maybe a little more melancholy or introspective. So I've got A major. So you'll see it sounds a little brighter. So if I play this, and now I can play it as a minor. Notice the change in the mood, all right? So if you're getting into songwriting, a great ear training exercise that I like to give to my students is, from now on, when you start listening to music, listening to a song, whether you're in the car or you're listening on YouTube or something, listen to the overall quality of the song. Does this song make me feel happy? Is it bouncy? Is it bright? Does it sound like a sunny day at the beach? Or is this sound kind of dark? Does it sound like a dark and stormy day, or something sad and melancholy, all right? And more often than not, that's a great way to start. Okay, so if it's bright, I bet this is major. If this is darker, not always, but more often than not, this is probably kind of a minor sound, all right? So this is a great way to even approach your own playing and your own songwriting if you decide that's something you want to get into. All right, so now you need some new rhythms, right? We've been talking about some of our core rhythms. As guitar players, what I like to do too is, once you have a good foundation and some good core rhythm patterns, everything else is kind of a variation. It doesn't matter kind of what style of music you're listening to, whether it's country music or rock or pop. They're kind of only so many, there are so many variations of the rhythm, but to get started, if you just have a few core rhythms, you'll be able to build off of that exponentially. So for instance, a new rhythm this week would be something like this. Let's go to our E major. We've been talking about this chord, the E major. So with this rhythm, it's going to be down, 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 up. So it's 4 downs and 1 up. You can even do that. You can practice the rhythm even without playing the chord if you want. So you can just go down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. And when I put it all together, it's going to sound like this. Let's do it on the E minor, our new chord. If I put that in a chord progression, it sounds real cool. All right, so those chord progressions, you'll hear chord progressions like that through all styles of music, and you've probably heard something like that rhythm pattern more than once, all right? So that's a pattern that you can use. Play that one time on each chord. So I'll go, then I'll go to my G, then I'll go to my A, and back to my E minor. And when I put it all together, it sounds like this. All right, so let's round that out with 2 more chords now. So we have the E major, the E minor, we've got our A minor, we've got this new rhythm, 2 more chords that you can incorporate. A D chord, this is the D major. All I have to do is, first finger is here in the 2nd fret on the G string, 2nd finger is on the E string in the 2nd fret, my 3rd finger, which is my ring finger, is in the 3rd fret on the B string. Push down, keep those fingers, remember you got to keep your fingers on the tips, and see if you can get a sound. Now with that rhythm, down, 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 down. And one more chord, your C major. C, you're going to stretch across all 3 frets. 3rd finger is on the A string in the 3rd fret, 2nd finger is on the D string in the 2nd fret, and the 1st finger is on the 2nd string or the B string in the 1st fret. Got to keep those fingers up on their tips, push down, strum. All right, so when I put that rhythm with it, you might have heard something like this. Beatles, Let It Be, right? Those type of songs, right? Those chord progressions, by playing that, you'll hear that in many, many pop songs. But that rhythm combined with those chords that you're learning, you'll be able to cover so much ground, all right? So that right there is a good starting point. So you've got review, new chords today: E minor, A minor, D to C. Now remember, your majors are your brighter chords, or your happy chords, and your minors are your darker or your sad chords. So now I'll give you kind of a little play along exercise here. So when you're practicing this, we're going to put these in a progression. We're going to go E minor, G, D to A. So this is combining some of our new chords with our older chords. So we can do something like this. Same rhythm. So down, 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 up. To G. To D. To A. New fingering, remember the A with the new bar. And I'll count it off. I'll do 2 times through. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. All right. I'll give you one more so that now you can practice your C chord. So here's one more. All right. Same rhythm. We'll keep it around the same tempo. The tempo is the speed, all right, that we're playing at. Here's the G. Here's the progression. G, E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, D. Sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 down. All right. If you want to alternate, you could do, here's one last little variation on that same progression. It'll go like this. G, E minor, C, A minor, then it goes G, E minor, C, D. 2 times through. 1, 2, here we go. Down, 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 up. C, A minor, G, E minor, C, all right. That chord progression is another one that you will hear throughout many, many songs. It doesn't matter if it's folk, rock, pop music. You'll hear that progressions like that in all sorts of keys, on and on. And that chord progression, excuse me, that rhythm pattern that you're playing is also one that once you get the hang of that, you'll be able to do all sorts of variations on it, okay?